So we have learned that insects are critically important to the entire world's ecosystem services, right? So when we talk about the environment, it's not endangered species over here. It is literally our life support system, right? Clean air and water are our life support system. So insects are, as I think E.O. Wilson put it, the things that run the world. They are the food for birds. They're critical to pollinate plants, as I think everybody knows now, right? We just won't have food without insects. So if our insect population disappears, so will we, ultimately. And we've seen this catastrophic loss. We've seen a loss of about 40% of insect and songbird species on the Eastern Shore just in the last 4 decades. So it's this collapse that really threatens the basis for life on the planet. So it's easy to feel despondent about that, and it's also easy to start to correct the problem. So scientists like Darran Tilghman, who spoke here in town recently, and others have learned that connecting little corridors of habitat, your backyard sanctuary, is enough for a lot of these threatened species to survive and thrive. Yes, so our backyards are connected into a web of mutuality, just the way we are connected with every species on the planet, right? Just the way that bugs make plants that make food for all of us or for the animals that we all eat. The Chestertown Environmental Committee is happily this kind of amazing group of experts and passionate folks. So we have people who've worked in municipal planning, who are researchers, who are chemists, who work as environmental professionals. And we noticed that our streets are being sprayed by a mosquito fogging truck. I'm sure most citizens of the town have experienced this, right? It's loud and they come through at dusk and they'll fog your front yard, right? Or your front street. The chemical they're using is called Permethrin. It is an adulticide, so that just means it only kills adult mosquitoes. And doing some more research into this, we learned that first, that's a neurotoxic chemical, so it's pretty nasty stuff. Maybe even more importantly, it doesn't work very well. So it kills about 10% of mosquitoes it encounters, and that's just the ones alive that day. Mosquitoes are these incredible opportunists. There will be thousands more tomorrow. And because this chemical, this neurotoxin, kills indiscriminately, it's killing all the things that are mosquito predators, right? So it's killing the dragonflies, it's killing the pollinators, it's killing bats and birds. So we've actually heard people report, yeah, I'll see the day after they spray, it seems like there are fewer mosquitoes, and then there seems to be this surge. And that's actually true because we're killing off the things that eat mosquitoes. Mosquitoes don't need anything to survive. You see they'll breed in a tire, a tin can, they're in your gutters, your neighbor's disused pool. Their predators need higher quality habitat. They need native plants and wetlands. And so if we're killing off the predators, destroying habitat for those predators, and then fogging for mosquitoes that barely makes a dent, we're actually seeing the mosquito population rise. And it's increased tenfold in our country in about the last 50 years. So it's illegal, with our program now, it is illegal to spray in front of schools. It's illegal to spray in front of restaurants with outdoor seating, but it's perfectly legal for them to spray my kids on their bikes at dusk on our streets. So we've tried lots of different substances. Permethrin is a relatively new one because these neurotoxic chemicals keep getting banned. So the one we're currently using in Kent County has already been banned in the European Union as the clear links to diseases like asthma and cancer, ALS, and especially childhood brain damage are proven, right? And as lawsuits are won, these chemicals come off the market, but usually new ones replace them. So for mosquito control, we know that none of them really work. Only about 1 in a million droplets of that neurotoxic chemical reach a target mosquito. I mean, I love thinking about you could spend $500,000 on this chemical and only 50 cents hits the mark. It's just not a good investment. But there is a good way to control mosquitoes, and the Environmental Committee is hoping that the town will adopt an integrated management strategy that is literally millions of times more effective, thousands of dollars less costly, and has no human health impacts. It feels like a no-brainer. This is a program that's not working. We know it has really detrimental both human health impacts and, death of the other pollinators and bugs that we need in the world. And it's costly, and it's not working. We still have tons of mosquitoes. So the main strategy that we're advocating, the environmental committee is advocating, is to help educate people. These critters are breeding in little bits of standing water in your yard. They need fresh water. They're not in our salty marshes. They are in our backyards. And the ones that carry diseases, and there aren't many of those, but those guys are the ones that are especially opportunists. They're not native to here, so they're not in our native landscape. They're in those cans, in those pools, in your gutters. And there's an easy way to stop them, and you have to stop them in the larval stage. That's when they're concentrated, before they're out flying around, right? So the strategy that we want to adopt is called dunks. They look like little donuts. They're a bacteria that's only harmful to mosquito larvae. So you can drop a dunk in a bucket in your backyard, or anywhere that you have standing water. You can put it in your fish pond. They don't harm fish. They don't harm butterflies or dragonflies. Your dog could safely drink the water. If your kiddo falls in and splashes around, they'll be safe. But they destroy mosquito larvae. So they're like $1.39 a piece. We are hoping that the town, in partnership with the environmental committee, will have these for free for citizens at town hall. But they last a month. They're a really easy fix. And we know that the mosquitoes, especially the disease carriers, but most mosquitoes stay within about 150 yards of where they're hatched. So if you get them in your yard and your neighbor's yard, if you can get some dunks in those standing waters, you will see an incredible improvement in your quality of life in your backyard. It's not a small matter. We're putting these neurotoxic chemicals into our environment. They have tremendously long half-lives. They're getting into our waterways. The other hat I wear is the Director of Community Engagement at Shore Rivers. When this kind of chemical gets into our waterways, it's disruptive to the entire ecosystem. So we could be leaders here in Chestertown and really help other rural communities find a way to manage pests without destroying our future. I run a program at Shore Rivers called River Friendly Yards, and I don't know, I'm a little bit concerned about wearing both of these hats, but that's the other way. The other way that anyone can participate in fostering native habitat is through a program that I'm fortunate enough to run at Shore Rivers called River Friendly Yards. So this program is both about water quality, absorbing that water before it runs into our beautiful Chester River full of pollution, and also about creating habitat for those incredibly beneficial species. And then placemaking, mental health, peace of mind. If your yard has Luna moths and monarchs and songbirds, your life will be better. You will be communing with those creatures, and you will be ensuring a livable future for everyone on the Eastern Shore.